you're willing to look. And her argument about race science trumped the argument I'm about to make, which is that the diamonds exist in America, but you gotta go find them because they're not gonna come to you. And it's easier to go find hardworking people you can control with an H-1B visa who will work 60 or 70 hours a week and not complain because their ticket to America is that job, that it is to go find somebody from Kentucky or Illinois or California who would be less likely to work those long hours for little pay because you can't control them as easily. That's my opinion, and that's what I'm going to talk about.
Now, I respect it. I'm gonna throw it over to Leo. One thing I will say, and for me, it's not even about. I don't think I didn't hear her go race science. She was highlighting Elon's using the basketball thing that he went race science. Just that's the clarity I heard in that piece. He was saying that him referencing basketball.
I understand why she said it. I just don't agree that that was the right parallel.
That's exactly what Elon was using, though, Emil.
No, he used race science. Her introduction of race science as a topic because of the NBA. The NBA is a selective group of people. Why is it selective? It is
Emil. I'm gonna go ahead and move it to Leo. I was saying she said Elon used it. He did.
Well, I'll pick up on that. I'll pick up on it.
Yeah, go ahead, Leo.
All right. So I would say that Elon wasn't using race science. He's using science. And the science that he's using is what Emil's talking about. When you're looking for the best of the best, you get into subsections of subsets. And when you're looking at people who have found, let's say, industry is only open to me in comedy. I won't name the people. And the people find out that if I'm oppressed, but yet I have access to the places of social mobility, the clubs, the country clubs, etc. If I have access to them, and one of the ways that I can escape my oppression is by entertaining them, then you might find an abundance of my type in comedy. I won't say, for instance, there's a lot of Jews in comedy. Why not? Because it was a way of adapting to the society. Black people in sports, for a long time, it was the only thing we could do. So it is natural that when people are seeking survival, that they find the paths available to them, most available to them. And because of intergenerational transfer, because of, skill transfer, knowledge transfer, they may start to dominate in a certain field. The ivory towers of intelligence and technology were not abundantly available to us. Oh, gee, I wonder why we're not heavily present in those fields. So Alexis de Tocqueville, provides sort of a framework of this all the way back to the 1800s. Americans have a way of lowering all the standards to the least common denominator. But why? And the reason why is because America has operated with the system of those who are controlling the narrative and the resources, and those who don't. Poor white people and enslaved black people. And, as the start of the industrialization and development of a nation. And in order to justify that and make sense of that, America continues to play this dupe thing about, what's really going on. And so, one of the reasons poverty breeds hunger. Hunger breeds what? Compliance. It also breeds innovation. Poverty teaches. And so, yes, do Black Americans today have it better than most Indians in India? Heck yeah, we do. But they have a hunger and an available of education and a desire for a certain of education that helps them move towards survival. The fact is that part of our movement towards mediocrity is because we bought this egalitarian myth, this myth that we should not strive to be better than others. We should not strive to be competitive. We should not, as Black people, seek to just grab things for ourselves first and develop our own technologies and then withhold them and leverage them in order to have power over people. It has not been our mentality to do that as descendants of American slavery. And that is because we bought into the little trick that the elites tell us, hey, don't be so competitive. You guys should share. You're the moral fabric of America. You always yield. You always bend over. So that is why one reason why Black people remain uncompetitive and feels we ought to be competitive is we've gotten tricked into a comfort that is just all mythology. Now, so Elon and Vivek both are sort of like rationalizing. I love how Vivek says is lazy to just say this or that. Well, it's lazy to not even go even further and just say adaptation, a strict libertarian idea, Darwinism, is a real thing in effect. There's nobody, blacks, whites, yellow, brown, nobody has a specific genetic advantage for either physical or definitely not intellectual. In fact, the intellectual chasm is much smaller than the physical chasm, because a lot of the physical chasm is because of environmental circumstances and what kind of.
So let me interrupt 1 second.
So let you go. There you go.
So I'm gonna interrupt 1 second, and I'll challenge y'all to watch the clip again. Elon has said exactly the opposite of what you just said. So I'm still standing on. He said the intelligent differences are much bigger than physical differences.
He did. He said I disagree with Elon on that.
So I'm just highlighting.
That's his laziness. And let me say this too, Brother Smith. Elon has to say that. Elon is a descendant of the apartheid system. The money and wealth that he came here with is because his father and his grandfather abused South Africans. Absolutely. And he believes in that system. Absolutely. So of course he's going to rationalize that kind of stuff.
And so all I'm pointing out to you guys, we on Politically Conscious, we're always going to call a thing a thing. And so it was incorrect to suggest that she wasn't calling out the race science that Elon was using. So I'm just correcting calling a thing a thing. He absolutely used race science in his statement. And I just want to get that clarity. Let's go to